my lovely people, and welcome back to Sherry's. This is another episode of 6 months of me, and today we are talking about emotions. Emotional mastery, and just feelings in general, and how I am and what I'm learning about them as I grow in these 6 months of me. Follow through to get more information about this topic, and also don't forget to give your input about the topic in my comment section. And yeah, DM me in my Instagram, Sherry_Henry9, if you want us to be friends and go through this journey together, for those of us who are growing and learning and unlearning behaviors and patterns that basically thoughts were normal in our lives, and we are rediscovering ourselves and putting in all the work. Sometimes it can get a bit lonely, so you can reach out if you wanna hang out and basically talk. Yeah, maybe. So thank you for all the love that you've been showing to my videos. Let's continue adding up, and please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Press the red button below. Yeah, I'll really appreciate. Let's continue sharing this content and helping this community grow. And as we learn one or two things, I bet my videos are useful, Yeah, so let's get into the video. Emotions are windows to the soul. They show us what we need and what we lack, what is in sight by us, and what makes our lives better. We must master our emotions in order to become our higher selves and navigate through life. People fear feeling their negative emotions because they don't like the way it feels, and we should stop looking at our negative emotions as a problem. Sadness, for example, is a sign that you should heed to process and love yourself more. You should pick up yourself and self-parent. So we learn to process negative emotions by practicing mindfulness, self-awareness, and staying in the moment. Being mindful of the emotions we've got at hand, being curious about yourself, and asking yourself questions like, what is the root of this problem? Like, why is it causing me this much anger? Like, is this anger in me, or is the situation that I'm in causing me the anger? Like, is it the anger that is repressed, or do you have a right really to be angry? There are these situations that you find yourself like, you get like, you being angry is just because you've been triggered and not necessarily facing any danger or what's making you angry at that moment. So what's causing the sadness? Do you really have to be sad or angry at that moment? These questions will help you ground yourself and actually process the emotion, and it will go away. Turn to yourself and be your own best friend. Create enough room inside to harbor all the parts of you, and that way you will not project your emotions to others. So when you create enough room for yourself to harbor all your emotions, you will turn to know yourself. I'm usually triggered by this, so when he said this and this, or when she does this and this, I will be triggered. So you prepare yourself in advance. When you know yourself, and you actually, even though you didn't know it was actually a trigger for you, but you feel anger or maybe sadness or maybe another emotion in the moment, you should just let yourself be. That way, just take a deep breath and take a moment to actually acknowledge the emotion, and you won't project to others. So as much as emotions should be felt and processed, we should always be careful how and where we express them. You must learn to master your emotions. An emotional reaction to a situation is the single most barrier to power. And according to 48 Laws of Power. I have been reading that book. I guess there are some things I'm really loving about it, like these ones. Emotion clouds judgment. If you can't see the situation clearly, you cannot prepare for it. So anger, again, anger is the most felt emotion, so I'll use it a lot. Anger is the most destructive emotion, for it clouds your reason the most, and it also has a ripple effect and invariably makes situations hard to solve and heightens your enemy's power over you. Love and affections are also dangerous in that they blind you to the self-serving interests of others. So there is no emotion that is good or bad. All emotions must be felt and regulated, processed, and be given a room to rise in you. So emotion should not influence your plans, strategies in any way. That is according to 48 Laws of Power. I've told you the things I'm loving about that. So yeah, once you are able to master, feel, and know how to express these emotions, you'll be very powerful. We've always had a choice of choosing where and when to express our emotions. So you always have a choice. Like you can be angry in the at the office, and then you choose not to express your anger there, not actually repressing it. You just go home and actually now take a moment to say I know this happened and actually I'm angry. Now you can cry or maybe go take a shower or listen to music, or just the way you handle yourself, so but giving the anger an acknowledgement that it's still there. But how you express your emotions is what makes you. So being careful with how you express it is very, very crucial. Being self-aware and doing shadow work. This is another way of handling emotions. Being self-aware and doing shadow work, knowing the roots of your wounded self and your triggers will help you know how to manage the situations as they come. It is important to know yourself, to know your wounds, to know when you're being triggered, when it is a reaction and not a response. And doing shadow work and your journaling helps you to know yourself and your thoughts. Someone told me if you want to know yourself, just journal and read later. So I've been journaling and in details, So and later when I read, now wow. I have a beautiful mind. Journaling really helps. It helps me put things in order when I'm overwhelmed and when anxiety strikes, because boy, does it strike. So you can use that. And shadow work, my shadow work journal prompt, I get them from Pinterest, and doing this for some time now. I know some areas where I need to work on myself, so I just be coming up with the questions and answering. Manage your stay. You are responsible for how long you feel in every situation. Take responsibility of your emotions. Acknowledge them, yes. Process them, yes. Then let go. Don't dwell on them, especially if you're not in control of the situation. Live in the moment. So the fact that we've saying you give room to your emotions doesn't mean if you're angry, you just stay angry and angry and angry. You have the power, and we forget sometimes because we put a lot of power in people's hands to tell us what to do and how to feel. And people's reactions are a definition. They are reflection of themselves, not us. So we tend to misinterpret their actions with our word and all that. So you have the power to say now, to give yourself permission to stop feeling angry after you have processed and learned the lesson the emotion came here to do. So it is only fair to yourself. Don't keep holding on, don't keep judging, don't keep being angry and whatever other emotion that you have. Don't keep holding on to it. Learn to let go, learn to limit your time, learn to limit your stay in that emotion. Name and define your boundaries and be vocal about them. This will help reduce triggers and inform other parties you interact with how to treat you. So I've been interacting and many of my friends over the years. I am a born again people pleaser. Okay, still in this journey. So many people tell me, Sherry, you don't have clear boundaries. They have actually told me so before, but now I guess now I'm really better. I'm improving. So one thing I've learned is that I have to communicate the boundary before actually, or rather when in the present moment, zenye hiyo kitu inafanyika, like right at that moment when something happens, that's when I should communicate, like, you know, this and this really doesn't sit well with me. Could you please next time try and avoid it? I used to like be the person to sit on it, and after some time when the tension is a bit low, and I'll go like, you know, that day you did this and this. Okay, I think I was still learning, and I'm still learning, so the boundaries will come. So define your boundaries and be vocal about them. Learn how to self-soothe. Get ways in which you ground yourself. Knowing your limits for every emotion and knowing how to regulate yourself is important. Getting outlets to your emotions like art, music, dance, writing, crying, talking to a friend, or seeing a therapist. This will give you a clearer perspective about the situation and help you process your feelings. Honor how you feel. Don't be judgmental to yourself. Always be honest with yourself and tend to yourself like your own best friend. I read somewhere that you should love yourself like you aren't waiting for nobody else to come and love you. And getting over things like childhood trauma or trauma in general is hard, and sometimes we don't even know we have it until we come to discover, oh my normal was so abnormal to people. So like, learn your own best friend. Learn how to take care of yourself. Learn how to tend to yourself. Learn how to soothe yourself. Learn how to tell yourself it will be okay, that you don't have to be stressed at the moment. You don't have to be anxious. Learn ways in which you can reduce that anxiety. You know, everybody has a way in which they can reduce it. Learn how, for example, like I had trouble sleeping and insomnia and all that, and I learned how to sleep. So I use like these relaxing sounds in YouTube and all that, so you can learn how to like do things for yourself that nobody else has to know about or care about, that will make yourself feel good. You know, nobody has to agree with the way you feel. You don't need anybody's permission to feel your feelings, and it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. So if you feel anger and the situation there is like kila mtu anasema like everybody is like, this is so small, minimalizing it, like this is so small, why you getting angry, you're so sensitive and all that, like just learn that those are your emotions. And when you listen to them saying that you just the thing is so small and you're just getting angry for no reason, you're not honoring your emotions. You should just go inward and ask yourself, why am I getting angry at this thing that people do? A small deal, maybe it's a trigger, maybe it just reminded you of maybe in your memory you live somewhere where like the thing that's triggering you happened, because we don't move away from the place memory wise. We don't move away from the place where the trauma happened. So maybe you're stuck there, and this situation here is shedding more light on that situation there in your head. So always to anybody else, so long as you're not expressing yourself in violent ways and in ways in which are unacceptable. So like, yeah, you're your own, you know yourself better than anyone else. So yeah. And the last bit is how to know when to step back in emotions. So being in the present moment, when you start judging yourself too harshly, becoming hyper-focused on the what ifs, the stories that you're creating in your head, the what ifs does go wrong, what if I fail, what if, that one, like, I suffer from that, because sometimes I'll be like, what if my videos don't get views, what if I don't get watch hours, and what if I don't get brand deals, what if my YouTube never actually grows and I never actually reach the audience that I intend to reach and impact on people the way I intend to. So it is called, what is it called? There's a name to that, but yeah, when you become hyper focused on the what ifs, just, you know, it's a moment to step back and reflect, like stay in the moment and say, yeah, nothing's happening like that, so what if it actually does get to the audience you want to, you know? Yeah, if you're maybe you don't know how to stop the negative what ifs, you can actually change to the positive what ifs. Like, what if I get to 1,000 subscribers, of which I got? What if I got that 4,000 watch hours? We are actually getting there slowly by slowly. What if I get brand deals? What if I be on a billboard? What if, you just ask yourself those questions. So you know when to step back, when you become hyper focused on the what ifs, the negative ones, that is, or when you start taking things too seriously. It's not always about you. So when you start taking things too seriously and personally, bye. Gotta step back and take a breath and remind yourself to stay grounded. When you react instead of responding, when you're misdirecting your anger, sometimes we be angry at maybe our colleagues, and then at home we go and just project that anger to our families and spouses and all that. So when it's good to be self-aware, because you know when you're doing that. So when you notice you being angry because someone at work made you mad, and then you're here angry at your mom maybe, or you're angry at your spouse if you live with your spouse, you know that's a sign you should just step back and ground yourself. When you stop prioritizing your self-care, and when you mindless scroll through TikTok, Instagram, your phone, doing nothing for hours, that's actually something that you're escaping from. So find the thing you're escaping from and feel it, give it room in your life, and it will be a bit easier. So thank you for watching my video. I love you.